up.
As a 16-year-old, I confess that I have seldom stopped to think about what it is that makes America great. It wasn't until I had to prepare a presentation for speech class that I really began to think about what it means to be an American. My presentation was a hero speech, and the hero that I chose was someone I never actually met, my great-grandfather. He immigrated to America when he was just 18 years old. He worked hard, earned a medical degree, and by all accounts, lived the American dream. To him, America was great because it was a land of hope, equity, and opportunity. But he knew that with opportunity comes duty and responsibility. So when World War II broke out, he volunteered for the Army Medical Corps. He served in London during the Nazi bombings and took part in the D-Day invasion of Normandy. As an army surgeon, he saw firsthand the horrors of war and the ultimate sacrifice paid by so many brave young Americans. In writing the speech on my great-grandfather, I began to reflect on the larger message of his life and began to see his life as a testament to what is great about America. Belief in American democratic ideals, the courage to defend those ideals, and a sense of gratitude and patriotism are the principles which guided my great-grandfather's life and which I believe are the pillars of American greatness. America's greatness is firmly rooted in the compassion of our equitable ideals, which are that all men are created equal, that all men are endowed with unalienable rights, and that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people should seek to uphold these rights through the rule of law. We take this for granted, but in the European and Asian monarchies of my ancestors, such democratic ideals were not commonplace. They were, in fact, revolutionary. But these are the very founding principles of American democracy. And true to these ideals, America has long been a refuge for the downtrodden and for those like my great-grandfather who seek freedom and equitable opportunity. So I believe what makes America great is the equity engendered in our democratic ideals and our willingness to openly and compassionately share this with the world. But ideals are not enough. It's important to remember American greatness would not and will not endure without the steadfast defense of these ideals. So courage is also a hallmark of American greatness. Like my great-grandfather, generations of brave Americans have courageously put their lives on the line for this country, often traveling far from home to protect not only Americans, but those in foreign lands. American courage can be seen away from the battlefield as well. Anytime Americans stand up to defend our founding democratic ideals. From the undaunted suffragettes of the early 1900s to the brave civil rights activists of the 1960s, America has been defined by courageous idealism and activism. So I believe what makes America great is the courage of our citizens to confront oppression and defend democratic ideals both abroad and at home. I like to think that my great-grandfather would have been moved to know that almost 75 years to the day that he crossed the English Channel on D-Day, a great-granddaughter he never knew would stand up in her sophomore speech class and call him her hero. But I suspect he would be even prouder that I was giving voice to the grateful patriotism he sought to express his whole life. He believed that America was a special place, and America is special. You have only to read the international news to appreciate the blessings that our democracy affords. Civil rights, a free press, the right to vote, among other things. We should be proud and grateful to be Americans. Patriotism is our right. And to be clear, I do not speak of the blind, my country, right or wrong kind of patriotism, but rather the patriotism that says, my country, with so much right, can fix what is wrong. And so I believe what makes America great is the collective sense of gratitude and patriotism that bonds us together as Americans, despite ethnicity, race, or political belief. a difficult time to be a young adult in America. There is so much pessimism, and it's so easy to give in to this pessimism. But in order to move forward, I think we may need to look back for a moment, to remember who came before, to honor their sacrifices, and in doing so, to affirm what we stand for now. To be sure, times are vastly different than when my great-grandfather first stepped ashore in this country. But while the challenges are new, I believe the old cornerstones of American greatness will help us to face them. Thank you.